Yo, you guys notice that these publishers nowadays they'll greenlight sequels to games that don't make sense, and then games that do make sense and deserve sequels, and the games that fans have been asking for years, they refuse to do it. I mean, what's up with that? They're making a sequel to they're making Prototype 2. Prototype 2, who even cared about the first game? Why are they making Prototype 2? Really? They're making Naughty Bear 2? Naughty Bear 2? Who bought Naughty Bear? Oh my gosh, man. And then the games that you want, they refuse to come out with. And all of the companies are guilty of this. All publishers are guilty of this. THQ, you guys haven't seen, they're coming out with the, I don't even remember the name. Just seeing the footage, just seeing the footage just pissed me off. Just seeing the footage where it's like an action wrestling game. It's like Final Fight, but wrestling with wrestlers. You pick your wrestler and they look goofy. The art style's goofy again. And you're just walking around beating up bad guys. Really? In a wrestling? Who asked for that? Who? Who? THQ. Who asked you for that? They're going to put all the resources into a game that nobody wants. But a game that people do want and have been asking for years. Day of Reckoning 3. They don't want to make that game. We're just sitting there with the money. All the Nintendo wrestling fans want a sequel to that game. We don't care about the SmackDown series. We want a sequel to that game because that game had an actual good wrestling engine. But no, they won't make a sequel to that game. Sega. Sonic Colors. Sonic Colors, Wii exclusive, well, Wii and DS exclusive, was probably the most highest rated Sonic game this entire generation. Sold over 1 million units. Yet, instead of making a sequel to that game, I hear rumor on the gaff that they're continuing the Sonic storybook series. Really? You serious, Sega? So you finally make a good Sonic game, and instead of continuing that trend, you're going to make the sequel to Sonic and the Black Knight? Really? And speaking of Sega, where's my Virtual Fighter 6? Did AM2 just fall off the face of the earth and I didn't get noticed? That is the best game that you make, Sega. AM2 is your best developer. Where's my Virtual Fighter 6? Where's my Virtual Fighter 6? Where's Shenmue 3? And this is what's funny about Sega. I saw something that they said. They said, we'll make a Shenmue 3, but one of the big three, meaning Nintendo, Microsoft, or Sony, has to completely finance the entire project. Like, really, Sega, you don't have money? They want them to completely finance the entire project for them to make it. Like Sega isn't making tons of money off of releasing horrible Sonic games every year. This is crazy, man. It's crazy. Where is the sequel to Dak and Jackster? Jack and Daxter. Why did I say that backwards? Where are those games? Those games were extremely successful on the PS2. And then people wonder why a lot of people don't like the direction that Sony was going with the PS3. It's because some of the games, some of the best games on the PS2, they didn't bother to make a sequel on the PS3, which makes absolutely no sense. Oh, and then we have Capcom. We fans were asking, begging for an original, traditional Resident Evil for Wii. No, you get a rail shooter. And then we said, okay, well, how about a remastering of Resident Evil 2 built the ground up for Wii? Nope, you get a sequel to rail shooter. Really. Then we have, they keep, was it the third Street Fighter 4 edition they're coming out with, and fans have been asking for sequels for years to Darkstalkers. Where's the sequel to that game? But they won't make a sequel to Darkstalkers. They won't make a new Capcom versus SNK, which people would actually buy. They're just throwing away money because they want to rehash after rehash after rehash. They don't need to. Now, I don't think they should listen to the fans as far as design, but when the fans say they want a sequel to a game, they'll buy it. They should probably make it. And get this. And then fighting fans, for years they were asking for Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter, right? Now I'm hearing that the Mortal Kombat team actually wanted to do this, but they couldn't get a deal with Capcom because Capcom was being stupid over it, right? So now we have Capcom with Street Fighter X Tekken. Who asked for that? I mean, seriously, after all these versus series been like played out now, like if Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter came out, it wouldn't even have any hype because there's been too many verses now. But really? So Capcom, they turned down Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter, but they think we want Street Fighter versus Tekken? Really? Might as well did Street Fighter versus Killer Instinct. That's another thing. Killer Instinct. Rare. Microsoft bought Rare, and the only thing they've made for Microsoft since they bought them is all fail games. All of the games they made have been underwhelming. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. Think about it. Perfect Dark Zero was horrible. Then they make Banjo and Kazooie. Everybody's thinking, oh yeah, it's about to be the Mario Galaxy killer. And it ain't even a freaking platformer. Way to listen to your fans. The fans wanted a sequel to Banjo and Kazooie, which was an overrated game anyway. But anyway, wanted a sequel to Banjo and Kazooie. And they decide to not make it a traditional platformer. Good job. I'm tired of seeing sequels announced to these games that were never even that good, got bad reviews, didn't sell that well, while games that did do well, that people want sequels to, just get completely ignored. It makes no sense whatsoever. And the sad thing is, it's going to continue to happen. Like, I guarantee you they're going to come out with a Brink 2. Even though that game did horrible, it tanked, and it reviewed bad. I bet you there's going to be a Brink 2. I heard they're making another Blood Rain game and movie. Especially the movie. Like, those movies were garbage, and they're on the third one. Like, people... Hello? These publishers they seem to just not understand. Release games and release sequels to games people actually want. Stop releasing sequels to tanked games. You guys aren't going to pull a Red Steel 2. Okay? And the reason why Red Steel 2 got a sequel is because even though the first game was bad, it sold 1 million copies. You guys are publishing games you guys are publishing games, sequels to games that never even did good. Use your brain. Especially you, Capcom. Where's Power Stone? Where's the sequel to Power Stone? Like, you guys just are throwing away money. You guys are so freaking retarded, man.